All right, we are in Unit 6, Lesson 1 now. These are the first set of notes for Unidad 6, Lección 1, or Avancemos 2 in Spanish 2 with Señora Gittings. All right, we're going to be talking about affirmative 2 commands. We've done this some already, but here they are formally introduced in the book. And here we go. First question, what are affirmative 2 commands? I'm going to be abbreviating affirmative as AF, and it stands for affirmative. First bullet point, to tell someone you know well to do something. So not just he eats, but saying eat, telling somebody to do something. All right, so other examples of affirmative 2 commands would be go to the store. Instead of just he goes to the store, I go to the store, I say, how do you say go to the store? Pass the homework to me. Sit down. Those kind of things. So affirmative commands, also known as yes commands. You want to write everything that you see, taking good notes, writing them out in your own handwriting using color. Much more memorable. The point is to try to get into your brain. Right, next question. How do you form yes commands? The regular affirmative 2 commands are the same as el, ella, usted form in the present tense. So let's absorb that a little bit. The el, ella form, present tense. That's going to give us forms like él come el taco. He eats the taco. If I just say come, now it sounds like a command for the 2 form. So let's look at some. Hablar. The el, ella form would be habla. He talks or she talks. If I say it a little more loudly, habla. Habla español. Speak Spanish. Habla conmigo. Speak with me. In English, we usually, we say the same form there, but we usually add body language to it. So we'll stare at somebody, or we'll point our finger, or we will raise our voice and do something with our body that changes the word. So we say, I sit on the couch. Sit on the couch. Just say it a bit louder. Or I might point, sit, and sit on the couch. All right, here's another one. Correr. Corre is the he, she form. He runs. But if I say it a little more firmly, corre. Corre. Sometimes we lean forward when we say it. We've talked about this before. Hopefully you remember. Corre, run. Escribir, that's an IR right there. Escribir would become escribe. He writes. But if I say it a little more firmly, or when I'm writing it, if I put exclamation points, escribe means write as a command. This is going to be with people that you're familiar with. You're going to say this to your little brother. You say it to your dog. You'll say it to your good friend that you've known for a while. You wouldn't say this form to me because I'm a teacher and you're supposed to use usted form. You wouldn't use it with your grandmother unless you are really, really familiar with her and call her like, hey you, how you doing dude? Or something. That you might use this form with your grandma. But usually Mexico, grandmothers are usted form. Police officers, principals, people that you don't know, you're going to use the usted command form. It's a different form. All right, so you're going to add eye contact. Oops, I didn't realize that wasn't slid down enough. Okay. You're going to add volume, eye contact, pointing finger, lean forward to change he runs into run. So in English, we add he. In Spanish, you can just say corre, and if you say it calmly and quietly without pointing your finger, it means he runs. But if you go corre, corre, now it means run. All right. Here's where I would say, if you have any questions, but you could text me your questions, email me through School Loop. Also, come to Zoom office hours, which I'll communicate about when that is through School Loop. Next question, what verbs are irregular in 2 commands? There are 8 irregular verbs in affirmative 2 commands. There are 8. So copy that down, and then I'll switch to the second page. There's only 2 pages of notes today. Copy everything you see so you have complete notes. It's not about turning the notes in per se. It's about the process of getting it downloaded into your brain. Handwriting is better than typing. Using colors, proven by studies to be more memorable. All right, so here they are. What 5 verbs are irregular? Oh, am I skipping one? There are 8 irregular verbs. Oh, wait, this is the negative ones. Hold on, I got the wrong page. There we go. All right, negative verbs will be our last notes tomorrow or whenever you choose to do them. All right, so there are 8 irregular verbs in the affirmative 2 commands, and they are venir. Venir becomes ven. You got that lined up okay? Okay. Venir becomes ven. Ven aquí, come here. Decir becomes di. Dime la verdad. Tell me. Dilo, tell it. Díselo, tell it to him. You do that in Spanish 3. Next one is salir becomes sal. Instead of being sale for he leaves, the command is just sal. Sal. Sal de aquí. Leave. Hacer is going to become as. As. It's an S sound, even though it's spelled with a Z. We're not going to say has. Say, pronounce it as. Haz la tarea. Do the homework. Next one is tener. Ten. Ten dinero. Ten cuidado. Ten cuidados. Be careful. That's probably the most common one you hear with 10. 10 does not mean diez. That is a Spanish word, 10. Next one, ir is be. Be. Sorry about that. Try to line these up better. There we go. Ve, sorry. So ve a la oficina. Go to the office. Ve a la oficina. You shouldn't have a need to go to the office. Hopefully you have access to be able to turn in your photos of your work to me digitally. Hopefully setting up Google Classroom. I didn't have it set up before because we didn't have to, but now I'm seeing that it would be very valuable now that we're learning from a distance. Next one, poner, to put, place, or set. The command is pon. A mom might say to her kid, pon la mesa. Set the table. Ponlo aquí. Put it here. Ponlo. Put it. Place it. Set it. And then ser is our last irregular one. It's sé. Sé bueno. Be good. Sé amable. Be friendly. Be kind. So those are your irregulars. You want to memorize those. Ven, di, sal, as, ten, ve, pon, and sé are the forms. And I do have a handy way to remember that. You guys know who Vin Diesel is? From Fast and Furious, bald guy. He's going to help us learn this. So if you learn this sentence, Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. Hey? Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. If you say that with kind of an accent, you get these commands in order. Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. Say. Got to put that Canadian say at the end, otherwise we won't have the last verb there. So go ahead and say it with me. Ven di sal. As ten ve pon say. Ven di sal. As ten ve pon say. Ven di sal. As ten ve pon say. Vin Diesel has 10 weapons, eh? Ven di sal. As ten ve pon say. So that's just a handy way to memorize your irregular affirmative commands. There are only 8, and that's your one sentence to remember all 8. If it's not irregular, all other verbs in the dictionary will be using the LA form present tense to use a command with a little brother or your friend you know well or your dog or something. All right, last question. Where do we place a pronoun? What did I write there? On. Looks like obvi. Where do we place a pronoun on affirmative 2 commands? So a pronoun, again, remember those ones that we did, double object pronouns, lo and la and lay and may and te. Where do we put those if they're commands? It's a little different. You're going to be attaching pronouns to the end of yes commands. So you get things like these. Dime, tell me. Dime. So D is your command. If you look from your list of 8, then di, sal, hasta en réponse. D is tell or say. Dime, tell me. Here's one that's not irregular. Practica, practice it. Practícalo. Practícalo, practice it. If your verb has more than one syllable and you're adding a pronoun, you're going to add an accent to the third to last syllable. Here's another one. Pon, set, la, it. Ponla. So when we're not using commands, when we're just doing regular sentences like I am going to set the table, you're always correct to put pronouns in front, and if you have two verbs you can attach them to the end. With commands you only attach them to the end. That's the only correct way. Ponla, set it. Here's one more. Hazla, do it. Hazla. So haz la tarea, I could say, or I could just take off the tarea and now it's a pronoun replacing homework. Hazla, do it. So copy your notes. Hazlos, do them, because los apuntes would be los as a pronoun. All right, that's it for our affirmative 2 commands. We have one more set to do because we're only going to be covering through Unit 6, Lesson 1. Normally we cover through Unit 6, Lesson 2, but we talked together as a department and all the foreign language teachers decided together that we would finish at Unit 6, Lesson 1, and the next year we would all know, the next level teacher would know how far everybody had gotten, and then we'll pick up from there. So you're not missing anything important. In Spanish 2, the last information that comes out in Unit 6, Lesson 2 that we're not covering is covered in 5 different lessons in Spanish 3. So you're absolutely not going to miss anything. It's going to be completely covered in Spanish 3. All right, stay home, wash your hands, don't touch your face.